if you really sabi salon, anytime we fuel go up, nothing no left way in all the touch inside salon. So for a few weeks now, around the corridors of the powers that be, then don't the cham man like for say fuel need for go up. The other time now, I be tell we just before the ASAM to the 8,500, we then begin show we say, look the other neighbor country them. Now so then they charge for fuel. Look we how we they charge. If you see Salomon begin show you the good way they do you or the good way he thinks say they do you, no say something they behind it. Not too long then they pull on from that 7,000 to waiting to 8,500. And right now, the way how the powers that be they try for make me you understand the reason why fuel get for go up, not too far from now as we dey talk so, fuel it go up. Inside Sierra Leone, we know say native consortium when it come pan fuel business, under the umbrella of civil society organizations, na then team up before. And then can challenge, then can explain, then can tell them say that most of the time they tell them say they don't understand what thing then they talk. Even though if we bring come Edmond Abu, he go tell we say he know what they talk, but on the other hand they go say he don't know what they talk. Today we are in the company of Edmond Abu from Native Consortium. Welcome on board, Edmond Abu Jr.
Thank you very much, my brother. It's been a long time.
Really, it's been a long time. But thank you, because we get you right now. We see Native Consortium. Don't pull several press releases them, then 2 weeks here. Do you bring we up to par? What's in the happen?
Firstly, you see, I can always say, John. Hello.
Yes, carry on.
Yes, you see, I been tell Dr. Balu I think the other day, and most of people are waiting around the corridors of power. When it comes to economic justice, we come by economic justice now West Africa or now Africa. We count 5 civil society activists there. Now Africa, not to Salon no more, not to West Africa. You must put native consortium. You go to the Washington, you go to the IMF, the World Bank. We don't make indelible, we don't left indelible footprint there for the past 10 years. If you see somebody, IMF, World Bank, they take care, you go to Washington, you put in a 5-star hotel, you're not a full man. So now I make sometimes I can look some man at governance because some man just can't tell this thing. Somebody don't deal with something. If na kanya you sell, na paya you tie the patch. You don't patch up for almost 16 years. I don't think say somebody go look you say you know sabi or you don't know what you do. So now I make sometimes me certain people that can just look they're giving a baby. But come to the issue. You see, last year, I make a talk, and they always say this. At the world market, we remind the peer really drive that price for let go down. Waiting drive that price for let go down. Not so because of somebody fine or somebody war or because Edmond is much too big or because presidentbio is magnanimous. No, not to that day. The price of fear, like I always don't say at this forum, and like all over the place. Sierra Leone is not a banana republic. It's not different from any other country. Now, 2 things they drive, even in America. Now, 2 things they drive fear. One, the demand and supply in the world markets. More so, whether they produce fuel, they produce fuel. If you see fuel go up in the world markets, it go up. If it can down, if it can down. So that's the number 1 point down the first why they try for the construct. All these people say, then talk then they will not for the talk. So if you see fuel price go down at the world market, it come down to as low as $14-13 per barrel. In fact, water become expensive because you know why? You said we be there now, say you said be done the quarantine lockdown. So and that is demand and supply forces. If you see supply outstrip demand, naturally the fuel price they go down. So that may affect that. Now fast forward. to 2021. What thing happen? Last year, what they say, just February to March, we see say PRA they increase the price by 21%. And I end again back again, Dr. Baluabi they misquote me. I not talk say fuel price go up na salon by 200%. I say fuel price go up na the world market. Now, if simple arithmetic, if you calculate 15, something come up from 15 leons or $15, it come to as far as $49. When you count 15 times 3/4, now 45 dandy, then at 300% dandy. So I say fuel go up by more than 200% than the world market, and then there is out by 21. So now I make in fact we be even commend and say, okay, yes, it's not bad, at least it's softening. So since then, government be the cushion a little. That I understand. That I agree. And let government continue for the cushion. So me, the day where we dey talk anything on civil society, business, on economics, that's not the day where they left. Anything where they talk way wrong, or what lie by anybody, or lie by any government, now that the day where they left civil society finally. And they talk again. Where they prove Edmond, say Edmond, this is the way he talk. Because it didn't the world market. And this the way always government in and out from the days of Pakaba, from the former APC to date, where they can always want for make plug for say the price of refined product is different from the price of crude. That one day I totally is complete poppycock, it's complete bunkum. Because the price of crude and the when if you go up by $5, it affect the refined product by $5. So what they can argue now, what we on salon government they can argue in and out, past and present, now that the price of refined product is different. No, it's not different. Now the movement in the price of crude, now the world market where you can check, see, you check no more. Almost for the world market now, you see, if they find out say you take something like 69, it then iPhone. You have to Google like check them. But the price of refined product, you need to see them because in now in they sell them the plat. But it's different by based upon geographical location. Like we went on West Africa, na Ivory Coast, Nigeria, you know, then thing and day. There, so basically, we don't tell the government say. Now price don't go up by 14%. Now we don't even calculate that price. They are not thinking about Kubalu knows how much you don't go up from the time they out of February March to now. We don't do the calculation. We say now 14%. Let them challenge you if not to 14%. We will provide that calculation there. When it comes to figure, my brother, me I not go school, but I'm not a novice, I'm a service. So who don't tell that? Now me could say the increase will don't take place at the world market. It's not justifiable, it's not material, it's not strong enough for letting increase the price of fuel, pump price of fuel. Because just like what they say, coming events cast in shadows. Where you see that have the is if you see now civil society, who say you don't deny if you're an activist, a very serious seasoned activist with well to salt. No, don't be reactive, be proactive. Not allow the government do something. If you see do ambra for let una reverse and ambra na kata na fet no more na go dem na left no more now. So now make we don't see say you don't see the handwritings on the wall. The Edmond native consultant, we don't go engage with the PRA. We go ask them. We engage with them. In fact, as a 2 months ago, we go present gifts to them. When they want present, when they want increase this price, we go give them gifts to say, do your big. This the hard suffering. We not say we make fair price don't go up, but they are not put her up yet. And we not think say it's justifiable. Then the other talk when they talk say, when people they say, hey, salon, now we got the cheapest fuel. Now we got the cheapest fuel. My brother, me when they talk to you, I don't live in Canada. Who say they produce, who say they explore pool fuel. When you check, if you check, just Google, say, what are the ppm content of fuel in America, Canada, Europe, and other countries then. You find us in America, state by state, they say almost at the ppm content. So they say, some state in negotiation as 10, so when they pass 14%. What's at the ppm? Now the sulfur, the one way, now the lead within the fuel. So you find out, say, first world country, they get clean fuel. Canada, America, Europe, they get clean fuel. When I in good for motor, I need dirty the motor, I need spoil the engine quick. But this we come part of the countries, now sub-Saharan country like we own, we get highly contaminated fuel. So that talk when they talk say, oh, we get cheap fuel, then it's of no moment. We get cheap fuel simply because we get highly contaminated fuel, we heavily leaded, Waiting at percentage, waiting at the percentage of fear where they go Ghana, country like Ghana. Now 200%. Like we say, like now, let's say, son na plazas. Waiting at the percentage of fear, and this way, why this fear in solve for the oxide content what they say, but not today. It done there for like 15, 16, 20 years ago. Now so it don't. Now standard bigo. We never increase the percentage. What I mean the quality. And you go ask me say, well, Edmond, waiting and they do to motoka. Then they emit them bad carbon. Them bad carbon, and it cause cancer. It get sick. Most of the airborne disease them now because of the motorcar, the way they emit, when you get bad fuel, then they emit that smoke, then they cause dandy. So now make we get cheap fear. That's number one. Then number two, there is this talk with hello.
You didn't live.
There is this talk also where they talk say, oh, salon, government is subsidize this talk here. They don't let this talk. I don't
okay.
hear
I want all
you
under. I want all you there because according to the government say from May 2020 to June, this so 2021, then don't subsidize with the amount of 132 billion. 0.1 billion leons. Now government don't put for subsidized palm fuel. They say from May 2020 to now. So what you they talk say this one way government they say then they subsidize. What you anchor with?
Okay, let's put it this way. Let me tell Dr. Balwa. Let's put it the turn away me they work na audit firm. Dr. Balwa they start in a bank be the work. Me, I work na mobile. Not to say that they say I work na mobile. I don't work na petroleum company. The turn away when you look at almost government they bond per day. If okay, law agree say that the government they subsidize 1 billion and some. Let's say let's say per day or per month. But if government say it they increase price of fuel now by 9.5, that 1,000. Let's say government they bond something like 1 million liter per day. When you calculate that 1 million liter per day, per 1,000, almost you get now 1 billion euros per day. Then government they lost. So what did they make? And now called quackonomics. Now, because when you say quackonomics to me, now economics will not make sense. You say you dey lose yonder, then you say because already mark you fiscal budget, you already make plans say now 85 you buy fuel per liter. They get MDS then. These are recurring costs in the budget. If you, so for any price increment, you not only add to we all suffering, we will suffer, the poor people, but government also they lose. So you lose on both ends. So the bigger picture, because now rest don't go up. Most of the thing they don't go up. Hungry day. You understand? We know say the president they try, government they try, some way, somehow. But the suffering of the people, if fuel go up now, that produce where they come on a true, na ba more luma for counter. As they add the fuel, so they add by the transport price, and then they tell on every other goods and services that the market. And economic they call and composite demand because it affects everything. It get rate on everything. So the thing is, now we agree with it, but now me don't put me this point. Now don't put before you now. So you choose. You increase the fuel, you say you subsidize. And this issue of subsidies, now one you get back where they confuse people there. The former government when they come, hey, we don't put something, we don't put something, we don't put something, we don't put that, we don't put that. Hey, you confuse the people. One self come, we say, so the issue of subsidy, now to say, because what it happen, when you look at the pricing formula, you go to them called excise duty, na a tax. They go to them called landing cost, instead of a tax. For any freight, for any metric ton, you get landing cost. So now that landing, they adjust. So who says to tell government for they get 50 million? So then they say, okay, government for they get instead of 50 million, get 45. We're down for going where government they forgo now they call subsidy. Now they subsidize. But don't get the people confused with too much of subsidy, no subsidy, subsidy, no subsidy. Because the issue is government say get for ready for forgo. Because if you S the price up, the bigger picture we get for look at now the suffering of the people. Then the other matter, this issue, with the subsidize for if that subsidy in what it can be now because they see okay what television news where they say government is subsidized, we are losing, people that smuggle fuel and say look at this now this you know what they say a great gross assault on the intelligence of the people now
because now the next I be one go where then they say I'm thinking one for harmonize the fuel price to we neighbor them because they say black marketers and smugglers then, now then the total go. They say for right now we get the cheapest. Yes, you don't tell me about the content, the fuel we not find and all these things. So they want to harmonize them so that the black marketers they not go take them for care and go example a Guinea for go sell them.
You see, me honestly, I can feel them for some of the government officials them. I not want to say some of them fool, honestly, because now me a big man, I go say. But look at this. Now the same argument this them because 2004-5 under Pakaba. May so rest in peace. Look at the thing what happen. They say people Jebu, people they mix fuel and diesel, and they put people in motoka. I said that is bunkum. Tana bomba, lie talking at the back. And then they say they mix fuel. But when I look at the thing, we all anybody they listen in the diaspora, everybody we don't grow enough, we don't pass 30, 35, 40 years. They agree with me say, what be they buy fuel by gallon? Petrol and diesel not to the same price. Remember, diesel and kerosene not to be the same price.
Yeah.
So if Namina be PRA, which are they do now? And they bring the oil market. They let them know say number one, the petrol and diesel where do see the same price so by right, for the same price because not to the same quality. Now so it's say red per mine, they get masake per mine, and the kerosene will be they use them na stove and palam. That kerosene they indifferent from that kerosene we blend they use. And the price is different. So we put the all. Now the question somebody say, okay, well, I can sell red per mine and masake per mine at the same price. Now what you do, I tell us, well, you know it's in that difference between the masake per mine and the red per mine. Kaloka adjust them, I can't take that money they force na yan. So now so you they take for jog the price, they adjust them. So what if Pakaba be do then 10 and day, it be wrong. They say because at the end of the day, they not be increase the because they be say, okay, well, let's standard bureau say. Well, would they make a standard say anybody they count fear in this country enough for past 500 ppm? That's for them better. If we don't make some can get a long life. So that argument say it's of no moment. Minister, I want a serious. I don't want to have enough debates, pana. I want to put it and so they are giving empirical evidence. Anybody when they challenge, they can't challenge because any Dr. Balua or don't sit down, don't talk with them. The former man will be dead. We don't sit down, we don't fetch them. Tell them say, una left for the deceased people there. Not also this thing they go. Not to Jebu. From where you did at this country, let anybody bite, let anybody deny me back. Guinea, they get free ports. On a fit to say Guinea government no want money for that money, they must carry the day. But why make you say Guinea must carry cheaply? Or why make you say people that go to Guinea, most of the goods they get at this country, na Guinea they go buy. Guinea government don't ever go say they subsidize for salon. Liberian government don't ever grumble. Why Salon man we saw the thing so small that we not think say we for scale up again. Why? Because Guinea and Liberia, because no ever go because there is a free trade protocol in the Mano River Basin. Just like where you get free movement of goods and services in the ECOWAS region. You don't need visa for going to Accra or Ghana, but you need visa for going to America, for going to Europe. Between the Schengen country, there you don't need visa for travel within the Schengen na Europe. So also now, Mano River. So if I want to move the goods and services from here to Guinea, you know that they profit the oil marketers because now more sales, now more turnover for them. So if government they subsidize, for grumble. If I told you they subsidize, okay, long greed say they subsidize. When the Guinea government, half of the bike the way they see in this country, so my brother, half of the bike, the Okada the way they see. Now Guinea they come up counter, they travel and they then border, then I say they counter. Guinea, because you know why? Give me government if I know even this corona, now the whole West Africa country, Guinea government no if the economy no ever shake. Because they not ever lock down nothing, they not ever shake nothing, even during the Ebola. Now just this weekend, now they don't declare Ebola free in Guinea. Pass and tell Posse. But we always like for make like say with this and that. So that talk the way they talk now like now bomba like talk and you know for the talk and say with the subsidize they smuggle. In a Niger Delta or like for saying oil pipeline they per mine fuel the smuggler bust the pipe for them connect go Guinea. Now fuel they count there MP Leone and Total they count the fuel they sell. Some go Liberia, some go Guinea. So if they go to Guinea, not more sales for the oil marketers. So why people they talk that talk? So now not left. So me they talk the day.
Okay, in that area.
Talk herself.
Okay, in that area, they say we don't care and go Guinea. We just use Guinea as an example. We na Sierra Leone the loss. We the people them now we the loss. It go shorting for we, whilst the one in a Guinea go enjoy the product.
Hey, Papa God. How they lost? No, they say how they lost. They say that the government then they subsidize. I don't tell you how government they subsidize. Yeah, they say because outside government, like I give you example. For 1 metric ton, outside government forget 50 leos, they get 45 leos. So government say that beer with the beer, that beer with the beer, where they lost that 5 leos. Now Guinean they enjoy. If Guinean enjoy, so what about that? Where we do go buy Guinea and Guinea? You know, almost when I ever know almost thing they come out Guinea for Kaya from where you small, where you know now this country. When people, if I when you see man for good clothes, they say na if I we say Guinea. Now Guinea they go buy product. The Guinea government don't ever grumble. They never grumble.
Okay, so another factor within the talk again, they say na external things them where the government's not able for control. One they say landed cost, the other one they say ship in cost, then they talk about the plat, then they talk about the accessibility to foreign exchange. They say all NT and then they make this fuel price go up.
My brother, ever since the days of Akaba to this government not be ever know waiting a plat safe. Now we put fire. Then program your own they call also now we put power per government. Where this particular new government they don't have their own plat. They don't ever know ever since they not be ever know waiting a plat. And now this will be the tell them we say when I try buy plat. Me, any movement will shake down at the oil market price and they don't have my phone. They send the email to me. I get access to plat. I see plat. You get 2 types of plat. You get plat of crude. Where anybody can see, you get plat of refined products. Then like where they don't cook the oil, let them make a refine now. You understand? You know, say how we get refinery, oil refinery now. So now, that plat they nothing will recommend. Now they don't buy them, so they know it's in a plat. But waiting they don't know, waiting this government don't know, waiting all of the government and past and present don't know. They don't even know waiting even the freight plat, they don't know. So let them try buy the freight plat bar. So they're not going to guess. Waiting on freight plat. Almost 1 metric ton of petrol or metric ton of petrol or product they cost from Ivory Coast for ship or for come out from Nigeria for ship and for Kana Salon. Almost the cost. Government don't know that. We're not to Danny, not to driver. Then the question of external factor. Now 2 factors they determine this price, my brother. We don't do the foreign exchange. One is either the foreign exchange or these forces of demand and supply. I don't tell you that earlier. So that I don't tell you say price don't go up na the world market. Me brother, no go lie. If you go up, I go tell you say and then talk for first government say they not increase. If you don't go up, if price don't go up, it don't go up. If price don't go up, it don't go up. So you get control over them. What you not get control, you cannot determine how much OPEC they determine the price of petrol or crude at a given time and the forces of demand and supply. And I make a warn them say, let them keep this price so. Me, I bet them. I bet anybody. Now, Joe Biden try for lift sanction in Iran. Now, if they lift sanction in Iran get huge stockpile of petroleum products. So by August, as they lift that sanction, Iran they begin supply. And as Iran begins supply they outstrip demand, and then fuel price they come down. So then you know not they speculate. All business not to TV, not for full man. You just read like way they read the graph. Say okay, at social time, now this they happen. You get factors the way sometimes it can just happen at the world market where you not get control over. Where you as a government, not to you because you need to produce fuel. So if it go up, it go up. Now just like what I tell you about the issue of 2/3 of the world population don't go lockdown. So the demand for fuel not there. Now when you don't begin free, like even like America, America, if I now say they don't begin loose now, lockdown don't come out, quarantine don't come out, vaccine don't come. The human activity they drive demand, and as they drive demand, you see all man they begin drive motor now. Then they count the demand for fuel. As the demand come, then you find out say the price they go up. So now just demand and supply. And we don't tell the people that almost the price don't go up. So this sort of thing where like now, see where you go to, where you go conjure. The one way they get in control of that, the price of petrol at the world market, yes, I agree. But you go for look at how much it don't go up. It don't go up. Is it significant? For let's say increase the price locally. When it go up the last day, in fact, guess what? When the price of fuel go up, when they put the price from 200, you guys they rank one day. Edmond, they talk. They don't pay. Now SLPP, some man begin cost mama there. They don't pay. But we don't respond because you know why? We don't say it's justifiable. But at the same time, not to Edmond in your part for can do spokesman for government or for PRA. Let PRA can talk for himself. But I think so we don't record for say, okay, H5 not bad because you don't go up by 200% at the world market. So the government increased by 21%, and I understand why they misquote me back. So we know all the figures, we know all the increments that take place locally and internationally. And how government said they get lost. Yes, indeed, government they subsidy, government they lost, they forbid. Yes, we agree, but let government continue for loss. Let government that small thing they get, and then because at the end of the day, when you look at the bigger picture, government get for try for the cut down on the spending.
Because we go can't reach yonder. But waiting, okay, now you they try for say you know what make them do this increase. Maybe behind closed doors, the oil marketers then they push like if for say they need this increase because waiting do now the world market there is an increase there. So whose kind of a relationship you think say the government and the oil marketers then forget this understanding so that this one way they pass around the corridors for the increase not come about for be reality for people them.
Now government get for continue for beer. Papa government get for continue for beer. One, I don't tell Dr. Balo, I don't tell the government say for like we even the both say 15% of the domestic revenue they come up from petroleum products. We think say that they bad. We go for diversify our economy more. For instance, we're supposed for generate, we're supposed to mobilize about $50 million from our marine resources. But because of the the poaching, now the sea, and then they allow that. So now begin for police to water them back. So when you do that, then they begin pull you tax bracket on their custom duty, on their fuel product. You begin release them small. Because when you begin tax your lifeline product, them more. Because you know you will diversify your economy. Well, okay, I can understand the corona and all. But the issue is you get certain sector them where you say you go try for diversify a little so you get more money. But what we don't see, we don't find out say, in fact, you don't go get Chinese man them. You marine and you mineral resources for let them watch over them. Now they go give granite to square for creep. Where because say Richard don't prove say now the Gulf of Guinea, now the West African coast, 2/3 of the one where they thief for fish, 90% now Korean vessel and Chinese vessel. So to me not be support that idea for letting them go get Chinese money. So on the bigger picture, so on that now on the revenue side, they wake up at the income person, wake up at the expenditure side, government don't bloat in expenditure a little. For instance, me now one person will be totally I mean not say we go reach this point. If government go bring paramount chief then 130 something paramount, 40 something paramount chief, you can't put them on the payroll. Then you go create extra ministry there. Like Western area resident minister. You don't need dandy. Ever since 1961, we not get that kind of ministry there. Now just example at the game. So cut you expenditure. You don't need that. If possible, put like now all day, now fit all day. Now fit all day. You don't need a resident minister West. Now example no more the give. So these are the things the way things say. What you do because now just like Motaman, the macroeconomic just about like micro, like near today. Don't spend you spend according to your earning. What you begin spend above what you earn a problem for you. It deplete your budget. You find out so you begin big, you begin harass, you begin this. So now so government self turn on the bigger picture. So the money, the tax when they get from petroleum products is good. But if we're able to tap into other resources, other avenues that of mobilize the revenue, it go much more better. So for me, now make we a native consortium, But buddy, you see, they pull na so they go na East Africa. We dey go sit down, discuss, we dey go facilitate programs, them conferences for CSOs, for think tanks them. Must not say we no we no fool. We need to just give description to problem. Na native consortium. We dey give prescription to problem. My brother, I have been a poverty reduction campaigner right throughout my life from 1995 to date, from what day as youth. So we need to do this for make government bad or for fair to government. No. We need to do it for any other thing. We need to do it for even help the government. We need to even do it because this is what we've been telling the former government from the days of late Pakaba, from the days of former President Koma. Some day they listing, some day they listing. Now we begin talk, say, we recommend. We say, una get 100,000 metric ton of storage. Now, Dr. Balua, they don't do them. They didn't do construct 60,000 because you know why? This country, anybody we don't know in Africa, to line is very synonymous. We know things to line. Fear not there, fear we begin to line. These are the tactics, this is what the oil markets as they do. What they want for shoot government for like increases. So when you get more storage facility, then they happen. Like what did they happen at Guinea? Guinea they have a centralized storage facility. Because like they always say, petrol, downstream petroleum sector, it get three components. Three, where you can invest. Where you can tell anybody, if one can invest, you make money. If you're not diaspora. One, you can come for the importation. Just for the import. Two, you can say, okay, I can provide storage. You can create more. Look like this guy, how you call him? This one for them politician, they will be standing the last election. Now that they don't count petrol company. You understand? Patrick Oduaya. He's in the diaspora. Yes.
For the storage,
exactly.
Now. Yeah.
Exactly. If you ask Oduaya will tell you how much consultancy advice why they give them. Ask them. Free. They don't pay me for me consultancy advice. So this is what. So they don't come. Now that they can't do importation, they can't do storage. They can't do big storage. That done the 9.5. Then the third one, now distribution. Also, you get the tanker. Then of course you get the dealer. Also, dealer not for day. Also, so all of this now side the way anybody can invest as a Sierra Leonean is very good. It's right. We not just want MP. So what that they do, it control the cartel for letting us squeeze government. We don't recommend this. Not to today. Now make anything they talk for the. Edmond be talk this so some of these things is not new. Nothing they would only recommend. Government they do don't know something and not tell we. No, but we can at the end of the day we can gladly for this. Well, you better wanna do this. For instance, wanna don't buy plat. So the oil marketers they just the crap no more. Like when that question we ask, oil marketers they always want to let oil price go up because they think say una banana republic. The other day, the Tune call wine because they had Leone the CEO, they go team up na press conference. Why government for all? I say look problem ba. you don't think say government for one plat? You go to Guinea, government get plat. You go to Ghana, Nigeria, government get plat. Because the plats, when you get plat, my money can tell you no more say fuel cost 5,000 euros or $5 for per metric ton. No, because we tell you $5 per metric ton, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know, say $5 for 1 metric ton.
Okay, since we did on this one. Because before we go to waiting, una don't tell the government and all the one they now about if this increase happen. We see a fake press release. We all know saying a fake press release. They pass say there is an increase from 8,500 to 10,000. Una say full press release for say because we know hearing nothing from the government side, even from the information and communication, even from the petroleum regulation. We know hearing nothing from them. Then just they watch how this thing they play. Yes.
So, yes. Exactly.
What's in a native consortium then take to this one?
Well, I think I don't even forward the release to you. Number one, like I tell now, I always talk this. Come in event, maybe what I land this. Forget about government. Say anything where they happen, it cast its shadows. You see the shadow. They say that married with the streets. You see from the Bachelor of Eve. That the Bachelor of Eve would depart already. We don't. None could not write letter to IG. We don't say man and they way they ready for this thing. How they ready? We say ready. You understand? Why make them forgive press? Now two things. Now two positions. Now two angles. If you look at that fake press release, one. If possible, say now some government one ranker, or if possible, then the very government, then they just they test the waters no more. They just want to test, then they see how citizens they go accept. But honestly, I see that. I know see it makes sense. I know they say that government all the person not mistake me. If now somebody did there when they make that mischief day, then that mischief day, I not think say you really sensitive to the plight of the people. Then again, if possible, say the other intellectual don't get. Now some ranker people on the opposition side, where some of them just feel no more than get. Then anything for salon na negative. If I some man waiting they want to sit down, then they see how they come out. Anybody they come out, then they can't arrest Edmond for let the government get bad name. Now make I say the day possible they go to petrol station, they go sell you fuel. They say, will they sell you this fuel because of you na APC or you na where you go for go buy petrol, they need to sell you based on color. One day, it never happen. Even in America, where you go then you have mischief makers. People that just want to make mischief. Well, sadly, hello?
Carry on, sir. You did like,
hello?
Sir. Yes, we'll do with you.
Sadly, like you say, that if at that night they show you how serious and unserious the PRA and the trade ministry be. Because press release, they fake here where they come also, a very serious and responsible, with all due respect to them. If any, any serious PRA for them issue out a disclaimer, but they set them out. They kept loud silence. Now that loud silence, what don't happen now? Then by crowd that they will say they take 2,000, they make take 3,000 now. No, not going to the first station too. From yesterday, 5 o'clock, what don't begin observe. Them both owner them. Then keke, poda, taxi driver. Then one day they go apply. They don't begin to take beyond the stated price. Why? Because PRA set him out. They want to let the team play out. That make well. Before they play out, we first don't go before they now. We don't debunk her. Until they no agree talk. Well, we don't talk now. We dey wait. Now the game get the play, bruh. Because it not go up. Everybody know say, like today say I buy fuel. Before they can talk to you, say I buy fuel. Now 8.5, you see the 8.5. And if they review the price, the end of month, by July, then they review the price. So why una set una mouth? Why una keep loud silent? Why? Well, this is the problem this way Edmond gets. Now the whole problem this way native construction get in this country. And all this what they do, and they do for ourselves. Now for we all. When fear price go up, it they affect them uncle. When they sanama bolonto, everybody they affect. Everybody, including presidentbio and family itself, it they affect them. So why we for Sidon? Why a government for Sidon? A fake news like this for Komot? Then people they exploit the situation. You know, my brother, the sad thing will not happen as a local. I tell you, we the phone over them. We the phone to the ordinary man. We bad past the government. Now this country me they see now, man they be in house. Instead of you ask for 1 year, where people say the man in rent, man in my salary where they get. And now if you able to take care of 1 year salary, that man they go say na 2 years now rent, now I want. Salon. 2 years. Is it not 2 years? Now I know a style now. Well, then they after all done this, we they pray to go after we court case now. We not say in the next 3 weeks we they done with the court case now court with them by company name. Well, then they end the next war. Then landlord the way they act. So this is the thing. We are not patriotic. Among ourselves, we're not patriotic. Among ourselves, what we do this the country tranga. Not all thing a government. Taxi driver they go halfway, 2 way. Because everybody want for when it don't happen so. This imagine just between 48, just between 24 hours, the exploitation will don't happen if you quantify them, it will shock you. So you as a government, this is the takeaway, my brother. you as a government, you don't know, say, you get a very, very wicked people away, they're ready for exploit the situation. No give them the opportunity. No make them leverage on that. Now the only constitution people say, look at product like Bala or Ogri. When they say dollar don't go up, they say, but waiting dollar go for those Ogri and Bala. The dollar don't go up. Now make it put you Bala up, you Ogri up. So this is the kind of country. Even during Ramadan, when Muslims they fast Ramadan. In fact, when I attend another someone they vex for put the price up. The Indian man they can just stay on every day. They own for because
since we don't camp at this small, because I believe say Yusuf don't see.
This is the kind of country what they
Yusuf don't see what in WFP pool about the people are suffering inside 2021. We know say yes, the coronavirus don't hit. We know say things they happen way not to normal times this. But this price in Sierra Leone, things are just skyrocketing. What do we need to do? You say don't talk and say we the people and say get problem. But we're not in a banana republic, just like how you say. How do we fix this? You did get me?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? I don't get the point. The last question. Sorry, sir. Yeah.
Yes. I say just where we'll take small detour, we camp on these prices. I believe say you don't see. Okay. It look like say the network. Nah, I want misbehave, but me ain't go hold on.
No, I get you. I get you now. All right. Yeah, sorry.
I did talk about the WFP, the latest video we then give about the own documentary. We then have go to market. We then go find out this prices then the skyrocket. Just like how you say, we have the Sierra Leoneans them, we have they contribute to this. But again, we not in a banana republic. How do we fix this?
Fine. If you get a very sound and serious trade minister, what you do, you need price control, price stability.
But then say within a free market. They say a free market, so you can't control the price.
No, you then a free market, but you can make regulation. This is a country who say Lebanese man, Indian man can just grab. It is sell mat, it is sell tile. The price number when anyone put the next day, now you put. This is a country, you country where then the country this was don't see. Government don't subsidize. Government don't lift taxes on rice and flour. It's okay. When they give a free duty waiver, the next day the man can just don't know because they don't have free turn, the country free, they put in price. So in such a situation, not a free market than an exploitation, over profiteering. Or what's the economy they call supernormal profit, 90% you want make because it don't see the avenue. So what should they do? If Namina be trade minister, and they make sure say a man and police, price monitors, trade monitors, very serious one because the one they don't get from the former government, they don't complain. They can just go bribe them. They in their man and Liban, they can just go bribe them. Then waiting. So what they do, they change it. If I put this price monitor now for this month, the next 1-2 months, are they sending a bow or bond or McKinney? When you go under, when you go under, the next time they send you go Kailaun. This is what you do. Then you control price. You they pay them. If I they put them on commission safe, what can they? You understand? Then per them man, I see they put them behind but I've seen it work in South Africa. So all you need for do now for just police the price. But here we sit down, we just grab up one money, my brother. Then I call her mobile company. Then go cut per the mobile. Then Orange Money agents then cut 5% per day. Why? They say because they do expansion. Well, would they per that case? Would they think within a parliament? This if it's the parliamentary oversight committee, the chairman just committee if it's so for me to Friday. I said me, I don't tell for me. I know it will be meet, we not get result. Una don't take the orange don't take 5%, but this is Sierra Leone no not to Guinea man and not to Togolese there. Now some of them are degrowlers, some of them are masters. Because work no they don't choose this. They say, okay, this time they work. Then commission what did they get? Now 9,000. Now then across the country. Of course, now all know native consultant position on telecommunication. They just grab one money and then they go quote the salary. There's cut for the commission. What for protect them? Now Edmond, now native consortium. Now they pan channel for let them give them back the commission. You got to wait, then the country where somebody just the grab no more today. So you need monitors, my brother. Don't tell me about free market economy. You need monitors. You tell them all be small, so now they sit down, but they come out, they go to market. When you sell price. We see now this country, Babe Kamara, and you go to market to market. When you sell beyond the price, they flog you. Because you get wicked, toxic people. Salary now not patriotic. Then just feel say that today for today. So this is so we got to know the difference between free market and wicked, toxic, exploitative, over profiteering business people.
Let's come to because even Pepe up to 10,000 leones per cup.
Now local products.
Yes, and then they say, oh, na demand and supply. We knock in this, so then they go pull on Guinea and Mali. So now that one they fork out a missile and all the this and that. Now make it reach to that day, but tomorrow it go to 8,000. So like it's fixed, but it depends on the day where you go to market. You meet them very expensive.
Now, because you know that it's still boiled down to because you know that price monitors. I'm not talking of price. I say price monitors. Me, when they talk to you, mean a farmer. I get pepper farm. Anybody tell you say, oh, the pepper, most of the now like on extreme. But most 90% of the pepper now local. That yard they produce them. They pull out but they loom on the counter. So anybody tell you say the pepper na Mali they pull out a lie back. So not just that people just feel safe, they for make over profits at any given time. So if you get a very let's tell you something. The economy, what they say bread and butter, the post we get people like saying the finance minister. No, not a finance minister. Oh. The possible we get a trade minister. The trade minister, now get the bread and butter, now the hub. So from what we last get Dr. Kadisi say under Pakaba, we will not ever get a trade minister like Kinkain yet. I tell you that on the back. Because when they say trade, look like for instance, the last of the battle with water, then sachet water, where did they sell? The people that just grab no more money and then they use the guy's pipe. We don't that go to minister. They have go permit, meeting goes. At the end of the price when the people they want, they put them. The bond water go to for in fact they start from 2,500, 3,000, 3,000, 3,500, 4,000 now. But that name will look better because some amount of ala be there, then engagement them be there. But at the end of the day, they put the price up. You understand? But that one day we're in a secret poison, sweet poison. The man is don't know in comfort zone, he increase the price up. But then they make the country stronger. So that report, if I can juxtapose that to that WFP report, it's correct. So the trade minister gave us step up. He gave us step up. You recruit if not 250 to 300 trade monitors, you fix them at the market. You deploy them, especially in the capital. If I want to see you're able to tackle Freetown, now just take like Freetown, you take like 3 other districts, you don't done. You set example for that, don't done. You don't need for Boku, you don't need for one Boku. Almost this thing cost na beef. Almost one pound cost na this. Na Kaubi say yes, this now almost they sell on 20,000 for 1 pound. Then the next month you see on 25,000. But if you ask that question, go ask that the worry. What's happen? The cow don't there. What's that the puller? What's happen? If the price still they can't ask. Well, what's happen? So then the next 9 on there. Or na the blood, the cow blood. Well, why? If you ask, or else you not put the price down back.
Because
when you do that for complete 1 year.
You did talk about the trade. I remember then they try for harmonize the cup. What then they use for sale. Since when they talk the measurement, 30 they not happen it. Even the bread size. Then they try for harmonize and back say, let the bread size if now 1,000 it be at the same size, any size where you go. 30 day they wait for that one
No,
harmonized size
but
day.
you know go harmonized braid.
Okay.
You know go harmonized braid. But that first one we talk about, so that first one. That one they then the the killer. That for where I call ourselves. This first example we
The
give.
measurement.
The Standard Bureau and the Minister of Trade, the only way that they celebrate that in a yearly, now they see the talk about today na measurement day. That's so done for the past 15 years. Now only now just talk. But actually, they be don't pass an instrument. I think that for just domesticate and then no problem.
Exactly. Then we don't pass about 30 day will not see and come to be yet.
Measurement, you correct. The measurement is a problem. The measurement, so the Minister of Trade gets more for do. So me, I can always say this. Trade Minister, it gets so bread and butter. So if you see get a very weak trade minister or trade minister where they out of touch, we not in when they put boot on ground, bruh. Now talk no more. Now feel the any man get. And this country, where's the price go for like candle? Yacht.
That we all know. Look, come back to this fuel issue. Because una don't say if the fuel go up, una they resist with a peaceful protest. Resist. Peaceful. Somebody say, well, I share out personally say it. Who say you want they see, then they resist peacefully. He said the word resist mean to say not peaceful. So explain to the person by the listen who native consortium mean by say una go resist with peaceful protest.
Yeah, resist means with a show with disapproval, we go most likely, we jump the draconian policing where they say for prevent person from not demonstrate in a democratic dispensation like this. Number one, me I not ever get record of violence in my whole life. So, and the native consultant a very responsible institution. So now police then go turn we protest, we peaceful protest. Everybody see, we all see. For say Bamba will be all gone or be all one red close. When some man be they say, oh na APC send we, or na this and that. One day, as a matter of fact, anybody who don't follow we do under Pakaba, who do under former President Kuruma, who do right through and through. So waiting at it now. Waiting activism for do now. So we not to that kind of person there. In fact, we even protest 3 times. No ever arrest me. We protest on Pakaba, no never arrest me. So this one way they talk about when they say, oh, waiting peaceful or waiting not peaceful. You get to look at the set of people. Who done this man? Has he ever been on this thing? Tell God thank you. You said when you don't eat me like program twice. Has he ever been on this thing? Waiting on record. It ever auction himself for Cocoa Ebe? Who is he? A genuine? So passport you talk with you, they talk no more now. Like comfort zone. But you not get nothing for tell me. And with effect for you. You say when they talk about Twitter, because even if you do overseas, you get people in the island, they suffer. That remittance way they do, where they say, after every 1-2 days, they ask, hey, but the money don't know. Now because they go up, and now this will exist, now we fight. So we they resist because it is our right, and we know say the police within a police state. We don't document about 25 killings of police from 2013 to date. Cold blood, shooting, police shooting. So we don't for the past 12 years, we don't cultivate the police state. Who said nobody the police? We get a trigger happy, shoot to kill police. Because the very day we protest, sometimes in June 2018, the same time, for fear. That same day, the commercial bank, they come out. When commercial bank workman, they come out, they not go arrest them. What did Ashek do, the former deputy IG? We see on the radio, they talk on the television, say, una law left there, why? We wait for the big one where they come. A day around Shaka Steve is by law courts. And they wait for it, say they wait for it. Before they marry, they go embarrass soon as St. John. And section 15 and 16 of the 1991 Constitution, it guaranteed that. For the Sanko, Nabush should go protest. No, we need to go protest Nabush. We think, say, presidentbio, let's see with disapproval a citizen there. Taria Square na Egypt. Egypt get 110 million population. The one that went on that square for go protest against Mubarak. Now 200,000 people there. For 100 million population na Egypt. So we know they go with that kind of crowd, but we just register with disapproval. But let me tell you something. Most of them government here, both past and present government, you get what I call the palace slaves them. Now they can make the government them. Some people like so over they can prove, you know, palace slaves. Now the one they when they can prove say they're more loyal to the slave or the slave master, or they like the slave master more than even mama and papa we born. So they can even want kill. Even when you go see the slave master, when you say the slave master there, if you say no, we are sick. Instead of you say the slave master, they say we are sick. Now you know the palace slave. So palace slave they normally now they because like I'll check now one former the deputy IG. Because waiting to go arrest peaceful, waiting for go arrest for. You know, get no thing. Let us show banner if we become if we disorder, then you go arrest Edmond. If like we protest, we say they go jog people in the shop, go jog people in the market, but nobody know enter our ranks. Me when they talk that I mean I want no martial art man. I be get me own martial there. For anybody the join protest the day. So for say bye bye, posse the car enter, he go so, or go jog people in. No. So that one day not to see where. So we let nobody know if or tell they come out with it, or like when some people they opinion or give opinion say now use maybe look me now me who that they go use me. Who that for use me now for who that American government because not to APC or anybody go use me again. Now what that for use me now. So we resistance. It come out from the fact say we they see the police say they not get appetite, and from what they talk to you, I guess some people they say these people come out to shoot you and kill you. These people come out when they arrest you, they go throw the key in the sea. I don't get them threats the day. You understand? We even don't get them threats the day before. You understand? So you see the thing. You see what happen. You get we don't receive. If I mean staff them, they don't have constant. So the issue not to we and not to done and I make they say they hope and pray that the PRA no go push you to that point. And when they come out to the make sure so we social distance to mask up. Most of you don't take vaccine. So that's the point.
Okay, I want to come to this comment because I began opportunity for talk to Media One about this protest allowing people for make them able for protest as not their own rights for doing. So I be come up with an idea with Media One where I asked and say, okay, if then they frown against people protesting in the streets, why they not go get a venue like example Victoria Park, like Victoria Park, una go there. This is just an example. I know they talk about native consortium, una protest una want do, but protest as a whole, una go na park. Then police try for mediate with that particular portion where example where native consortium want for make hearing. If not the president, police work out the president day, maybe the president can't team up hearing, or then send somebody come for make he can listen to waiting una get for say, and then go carry the message go. But this 21 days where police always they say now so it for be, and if the let me say if you can go up now una one come out when I get for go 21 days go negotiate with police stay that 10 day. I don't know who side we feel say we go team up una don't begin get talks with police una don't request say well would they see like say one day we get for go na trito or how the things don't they go with una and police.
You see we get for reform laws in this country. When you look at we laws in this country, like any other law, like any other country, like America, the grand norm, the biggest, the papa, all the law there, na America, na the American Constitution, the federal Constitution. Salon, we get with 1991 Constitution, we na our grand norm. And if there is any law where they in conflict of that law day, na nullity, it is subdued under the 1991 Constitution. Then you don't need to go law school for that. The 1991 Constitution is the grand norm. In fact, when you look at the 1978 Constitution, the only difference with 1978 Constitution from the 1991 Constitution, now because the 1978 Constitution it not get multi-party, 1991 Constitution it get multi-party pluralism, it get multi-party, it not be one party. And when you look at section 15 and 16 of the 1978 Constitution, one party Constitution, you get all the fundamental human rights where they did. Freedom to express, freedom of speech, freedom to exchange opinion. They all them because they why they ensure they when they say fundamental now because instead they na like now rights to eat, right to food, right for la make you party, right for la belong, right for la join society, right for la go church, right for la go mosque, right for la do wetin I feel for do. Then now called fundamental human right. But you get also, you see, when you talk about human rights, and then one ended that with constitution and in now ending international instruments them with fundamental. Now, your right to swing your fist, stop around my face. Again, me freedom, I will swing my fist so. Finger, swing and so. If a mistake touch your face, then I don't violate your right. Now, so then you get certain right there, like for instance, you get right for do whatever you for do like body. But you know the law, now you law. You don't get right or society, but if you work now, you keep yourself naked, you work at sarcastic about justice. Now you right to, but society they frown at you. But you know that the law, you know that Bible says when they stop passing, well you work at the street naked. But society and in the scheme of things, they go say no. Don't you get right for let you do it if you for do address how you want, if not summer or winter, but also you know go work naked. So all years on, now the kind with the kind any other country law. So 1991 Constitution give we say it guarantee say you got right for protest. So if the police in they say 21 days, not to that the Constitution tell me oh. He said for protest peacefully. If I protest, I become disorder. I go jog somebody in phone. I go broke post in market, brother, and I disorder, therefore arrest me. If possible, lock me in a jail. Then I know to protest. Then I disorderly behavior. But if I come up peacefully, I come on up country 3. Then I show me banner. Or like when presidentbio the Canada. You know the story the president oh, then a mutiny. You just put another so the president the pass no they see him. Mr. President will not go with this fuel increase. Then in a peaceful protest, wear a mask. You don't stop nobody, just like what you do within the 1991 Constitution. So that one is not get nothing for do that police law. You do that peaceful protest and put you banner and show you banner. That is what civil society is. We not depend on violence. No. So tell you media one anything, and this is the thing. You get a spontaneous protest. Even in America, it happen. When they say they clamp down, you see what happened, George Floyd in case. We all over, you know, the police shooting, the pandemic where America is suffer now shooting, killing, gun violence. You understand? So we relatively peaceful. So if you policeman, me come, for can just show me placard. I no go church post, you know, I team up na me corner. I no block traffic, I team up na me corner. I show me banner. I say I no agree with this fair price. Hey, bruh, you go say I forgo take 21 days first, or I forgo I forgo because the law will get so until we go for change the law. Let the amend 1991 Constitution 15 and 16 say okay, you get right to for protest too, but what dear subject to this particular instrument. When you want for come out, go take 21 days. You know the day. So as long as you know the day, to me that in law, I not see I say as been I say as nullity. Now that will be stand on 2018. I will talk. So now I make when they arrest me, they say I said me they make statement. The World Bank and the IMF then call the government because we get international this. You say me they make no statement. If I go and come me go on Panama Road. So that is because I don't violate no law. I don't make nobody make no disorder. Nobody no joke, nobody phone, no stone, nobody kill, no make nothing, no get click, no get nobody. So this is how now this I can tell people this is that's how they organize protest. But if you come out with this mischief making, what I go for go protest for? Now for every other side, including I go for go protest for even the president. I'm not go protest for myself. Or for saying that this I not agree with. No. Now Danny now go for go protest for. So that's the point. And I make the thing say we need to amend the constitution because some of them lacunas there the day. And the police have, they miss between public disorder and waiting a genuine protest. You get the ranker one and I saw one tell come up for go protest now. How you call her? For passport. When the country don't give sovereignty to one Lebanese for the make up when you want passport, you get for go to that Lebanese, they will not know what they do. Then the same day, another people then come out. Hey, then they get ala. Edmond na because na mende. Na me no arrest her. Na to look ala. What about the same way Edmond under APC when no arrest her? Na be nimba. What about the same way I come out 2018 when this very government, this SADP government, when they arrest me na be waiting and me na be mende or me na be local. So all of them is we don't make the environment so toxic for we say that if somebody say, well, what's it? Which are they die for now? Why for made the sacrifice? But all said and done, what to me they say we are not troublemakers. We are not troublemakers. We don't make problem. We don't make problem. We don't make any civil disobedience, any civil disorder. For say Bamba would go for go do. So we don't already write the police for answer your question, my brother. We don't write the police for protection. We don't write the police for like give you allowance. So then I mean not respond to it now. We don't write say hey when I give you 21 days for go notice hey when I give we write for police protection. And we state section we still team up on section 15 and 16 of the 1991 constitution when the grand norm of this country. So if you feel say now they say well you need to give me the protection, well then no problem. Me I protect myself. But if you can't then now you can't shoot or you can't make disorder, you can't make and turn and violent, then it's another thing.
All right, so make we come back before we round up now. Make we come back to the issue. Usai we start the song, the oil price. Around the corridors, nyama don't they go on like see the one for increase. They don't come out. Yes, they don't come out. And the fake press release don't come out. We don't see nobody from the powers that be for debunk and saying a fake that one day. Yusuf don't talk about the ripple effect with that fake press release. They don't get to the people of Sierra Leone. We people them can take advantage. We don't accommodate. We don't can how people still the suffer. And if this particular fuel increase now, then it could just make things worse for we people.
Exactly.
Exactly. What's in the way forward, sir?
Well, now we you now all day. Now we tell God take una all day. We're glad for programs like this. Now we continue for big presidentbio. Now continue for big because presidentbio really know that. And well, of course, like any other president, they go for brief farm. And some of them guy, it was sad for say in fact. A particular, I need to call it, but we see with time, we also can call and Gary as well. With time, we go for call out. We get concrete evidence against them. We call out and we publish on the media. Say for stop. We don't mind if they sack they make let's stay. Me, I know nobody in job. Let us say, but the only thing we don't want up. Anytime we see price, they go meet. Now in the oil markets that they use. But you just put price up just last March 3 months ago, you want to put price up back. I mean, you be put the price up for ensure, say, you no go put price up, you no go shake the price in the short run. So, now I make we they say, that particular minister, they do firework, but they'll go for making that work there is sour for him. And he will regret in life if we not stop with the paper. Because we get very strong, even from the very oil market, where man there, we say the man there inside the man there at the oil market. Man there back. Then they tell me, I don't work now, I don't want oil company before, so I know certain man there with the talk. So the issue is, they make at the same presidentbio, because some certain people where they don't really know the direction where they go. In fact, they don't even do background check on them. they just become ministers and duty bearers by default because of na papa and uncle and auntie and family, or because of na man, or because of na this just put a normal. In fact, some of them say they're loyal, so they be not there, but they not be no there. Some man where you not get, you need to know, but where you get. So we don't want that particular person there, and then the great problem. This Dr. Balo, I'm not to say a bad person, no, not a bad person. In fact, in person, he not go talk no more. But if you don't resist this temptation, he don't resist them. If you not ask him, at the texter, at the big, hey, my brother. You see, advocacy is difficult too. Now that I can tell civil society, they will not get patient. The kind of patient who don't patient for this thing. But I say text. We don't even talk gifts. Find beautiful gifts we don't go give them. So do ya. So for say bye, and I could ask, I go tell them, I say, we don't go gift for them. This is how you advocate. You not going to make the man enemy, not to your enemy. You just want him to do what not going to affect the mass. So we they continue for beg, we they continue for appeal. Now we don't qualify go Cameroon. Leone don't qualify after 25 years, which is very good. Presidentbio is a lucky man. That we know. So we not spoil with gladness. We let it die in jocularity for go Cameroon. We not spoiler. We don't put balapana. We left this fuel price so. Let left so. Say August. If price of fuel no go down, if whether they lift that man from Iran, me brother, they just they do match. Now me go come back and say yes. Let them put her up. It's justifiable. I go tell you back. Who said they go put her up? Who said they go proportionate? Who said they go put her not go proportionate? Me not to that kind of person. They will sort of not reasonable. No. Me with the doctor, I mean I professional. I get my own farm. What they work with. I get my own consulting farm. So I know they do this for like a just give government bad name. No, we don't do that kind of thing. If you remember, say you don't say we use say when they hear yourself. We they only come out when there is an issue, and we they come out for getting results. We they come out every day for let they hear. No. Me I know they panandi. We know they panandi for every day for the area. No. We don't do that kind of activism there. You guys start to act. They just want for them at the media. No. We don't do those guys. We don't need that. Self. Me I don't need that. So we they continue for big. So you self for join we. Now continue for advocates. Now big. Do you have Presidentbio? If this thing, if you ace up, already prices don't go up, rest don't go, Bokusi don't go. People they suffer. If you increase this fear, it will add the burden on the people. I think that's the message. That's the takeaway.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Edmond Abu Jr. from the Native Consortium.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
It's a pleasure, and I hope say you know go lost for me back.
Definitely.
Take
not.
me 2 years. Take 2 years to lick me low battery.
Definitely not. Thank you very much. Sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's now Edmond Abu Jr. from the Native Consortium. Now they end them. All the talk with and they talk, and they try for ask the government say, please, with a big, una not increase the price of fuel. Because if una increase them right now, more burden go come to the people of Sierra Leone. I think that's a fair call. For make we all ask some of the questions them way the government don't they raise, why they feel to say this particular one, then for increase them. I don't ask Edmond. You don't hear you waiting a reply to the one then they. So It provides solutions them we will feel to say go able for help the government so that at least we people them we they suffer right now, the burden go less on them. Now just carry to Smantoli quick, make we hear waiting a makeup of this call we they get from the Native Consortium. Yes, Usmantoli, you get the platform, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Triple A first, let's just thank Edmond Abu, now the director of Native Consortium. It's always a pleasure for getting on this platform. The man we very, very outspoken. The man we on top of the situation at Salone. The man we all look forward to. So it's always a pleasure for getting Naya, and it speak truth to the issues them way they rise in the country. And it make a number of fundamental points them way I would just want to draw your attention to where I agree with them. There are others where I will want to talk a little bit about where I get a little bit concerned. To start with, I totally agree with them. The fact that we don't get this fake press release where come out, where talk say the prices them of where long go up. I think I see them where they can increase to 10,000 or so. I think the best way for stop fake news or for minimize fake news now for debunk that news day. And for come, for be expect from the PRA, we are the Petroleum Regulatory Authority, for making it come out and make a disclaim, say that news is not correct. But from what we did see, I think say then get the intention for that. Because if press release don't come out, say we want to increase the price, and we're now very much aware of that. Now in a position for come out and sensitize and inform the public, say that news is not correct. But if we not can explain to the public, so to a very large extent, it means we not have to contribute towards the fake news. So I totally agree with that. And one other important area where I feel say make clear to we is that when you increase the price of fuel. Remember, AAA, I've been on making on this forum. I've been on talk about that. Fuel, it get a ripple effect in almost all the products and services in our country. Where is the price of fuel? It affects the goods and services in our country in so many ways. And it just worsen the situation of the country. Mark, any time where they increase the price of fuel, almost everything in the country they go up. So this is why I think Edmond Abu, within a Native Consortium, I think they take them very seriously because they know the importance of this particular action of the government. Already, as you say, AAA, and as Edmond Abu say, the people in the suffer already. We see the interviews that we get on a regular basis from your own very channels, when Sarah Network talk to the camera. With so many other reports that when they come out, how people in the suffer due to the prices that are in the market. And I tell you before, AAA, one of the things that way they actually affect the bread and butter issue in our country, now the price. If me go on a market today, I go buy, then after a week I go and meet the price don't go up. It just means say it make me worse off. So now I make the price of fuel in that country, the way they affect the price system of other goods them is very, very important. Price a very sensitive commodity. Fuel a very sensitive commodity in that country. So I totally agree with that. And also, it mentioned the fact say a lot of CSO in that country now libele civil society organizations then. Lots of them are libele. We don't see that over the years, not only for this government, with all the previous governments then. Then just not they for speak for the people then. They're not there for talk for the people then. They are just to support voting there on the floor for better themselves. This is like a clear example, Usai, and for come out, for speak. Because the country, people and they suffer at this point in time. And for increase the price of fuel just to make matters worse. So again, Edmond Abu, kudos, you mentioned that. And the other thing again, we get to understand is that when you fail for come out and debunk fake news, yeah? For example, now, they say the price they can go up of the fuel. You know what will happen? It will create artificial scarcity. People then will begin keep them fear. They will begin keep them. Wait where the price go up, then they ace the price. Then they go make more money. And also, you know, you get the propensity for cause danger. Because people then will begin to hide the fear like they host them, where they can cause trouble like they host them. Then make then tear where it happen, it fine for let the PRA, Petroleum Regulatory Authority, come out clearly and debunk the news. Say this is not fake news. But as I've been saying, it looked like PRA get the intention for increase the price of fuel in that country. And I just get a number of concerns with some of the submissions I want to light on a little bit. You see, one thing where I agree with them, before I go to the concern, is that now the forces of demand and supply, now they determine, and one of the factors that they determine the price. In other words, if demand exceeds supply, we will likely see an increase in price. In the other way around, if supply exceeds demand, the farmers say the price will fall. That is what they talk about. And also, as you say, exchange rates in our country, we all know, say, at this point in time, exchange rate very poor in our country. So that, again, will likely affect the price of fuel in our country. But the only thing is, I think that he asked this question that then they smuggle the fuel, pull out of our country, get and go to other country. That's fine. That's fine because we say we are a member of the Mano River Union, which is right. Now make way countries and sometimes then they go into the union, yeah. We get what you call divergent criteria. We not forget similar economies. But I believe, say to some extent, it affects feedback. Yeah? As you say no more, the forces of demand and supply and they determine the price. So, you know, if we get more people then, you know, because if we can't go again now, it means the demand, they go up, where it will likely affect the price. But not of that now the issue. The issue is when you listen to Dr. Brahma Balua in on submission, I think I listened to Ramwe, the interview na 98.1 FM. You see, the sector itself is not very competitive. I think one of the problems we face is that I think we only get one importer So in the argue, say, we need to open up a space so that we will get more investors then. Yeah, because in the oil production industry, yeah, you get so many other areas then. Yeah, where you will get investors then for invest, such as retailing. You get the transport side, you get the jetty side. You know, as the Dr. Balu was saying, he said not only one jetty we get in other countries. So only factor here, it affects me. Also, don't forget the storage facility. Because if we don't get storage facility, the tendency they say, therefore they import frequently. So all anything they affect me. So the reason why I think one of the reasons why I think for taking care and go to other country, because if we don't get storage facility that we country for store them, then begin care and go to other country, there is a tendency for them to run out of petrol very quickly in other country. And this will lead to queues. I think one of the problems we face is that. This is why this government, if not be really talk and do, then they talk about this issue of oil refinery, about storage facility. Now in country, I think that they don't come up with that project. I don't know how far they don't go with that. I think that one of the areas that one they if they want alleviate the situation. Now, one of the areas that we therefore look at in terms of the storage facility, and I listened to Dr. Balua. I think he mentioned that. He said that they try to make sure, say, they increase the storage facility capacity so that we will get, a long time for store, for get a reserve for our country. So what am I saying here? Although, we get that economic understanding between we and Guinea, but to a very large extent, I believe, say, the care where and the care go this field. Now, other countries, they increase demand. Don't forget, Guinea is a bigger economy than we, and then get so if they begin care and go small with care and go to Guinea, it means now we country we not get storage facility. There's a tendency for they order more for them. And in whatever shape or form we look at them, whether the government is subsidized through by excise duty, now a form of subsidy, because in the law revenue through by excise duty we they're supposed to forget now a subsidy. So I totally agree with Edmond Abu on the grounds that the government for subsidize at this point in time, whether in the form of excise duty, cut down the excise duty, or any other way in the door, it's not. This is at the time then for the continue for subsidize, because the suffering of the country. Then therefore look at the way how the country they right now. For no say not to the the timing now they talk about that, yeah. Also the time this for increase the price of fuel. As I say no more, when you increase the price of fuel, all other things will go up. We services them, we product them, And you go also argue, say, oh, what's pepper, for example. That woman where they go taking pepper in a village for Kautan at the city, you get for pay transport for them. So all that get impact on them commodities and they. So it is a very sensitive commodity. Don't get me wrong, it's a sensitive commodity where I feel the government therefore take it very seriously. And I agree with Edmond Abu for now we know say we get the right for protection in that country. Yeah, we get the right as long as it is peaceful. We get the right for protection in that country. And irrespective of COVID-19, we don't see other countries then we get real respect for democracy. We see the Black Lives Matters, which happened recently in America. where and protest. Even in the UK now, yeah, we see the protests that when they take place under COVID-19. So this will be no exception because because we are suffering now in country. We are suffering. Now just a way for sure say we dissatisfied with a given action where government want take or where don't take. We don't satisfy with that. So it will be a protest for showcase we concerns, not for any trouble making. And the other area also where, this is not economics. Economics is the beauty about economics. All man, they look at things from a different perspective. It depends on how you present your case. Economics, the answers, they're not straight. It left to how you present your own case. I listened to Edmond Abu, he talk about price control. And more specifically, he talk about price monitors. The question is, you think that they go work, Edmond Abu? When a country, we get, look at the way how the country they say you go get monitors, the people that go out for the go monitor the prices there. To me, I think this now a free market economy. Let's say clear. Yeah? We say, as you say, the forces of demand and supply. Don't allow the forces of demand and supply. Yeah? I believe if we get a very serious government, yeah, where they understand the real issues. Because don't forget, you mentioned about bread and butter issue. The bread and butter issue to me, yeah, one of the factors the way they determine bread and butter issue is the price. It depends on the country actually. In Sierra Leone right now, bread and butter issue, one of the variables where they look at are the price. Because when the price goes up, it will worsen the standard of living of the people. It will make the people working in their pocket become less. So we're able to put bread now in table. That's one of the factors then. And the other thing where you talk about bread and butter issues, yeah? Now the basic needs. Imagine if this government take the issue of light very seriously. That might mean where they go sell, make cold water for go sell in the market. Yeah? You get lights and hose. You go make that in cold water, you go sell. You get a living and nothing. You go help them for put bread and butter now in table. That water where the government they provide, where they supply and the houses them, they go able, put on a freezer, make them, you go sell. Yeah? It's about lights, it's about water, it's about shelter, it's about food. It's about food. Agriculture is important. I tell you now the other day here, yeah? I understand, say, some of the issues here, not a quick fix. But Lord, we begin to see the smoke. It's not about the government can't tell we say we do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. No. Then you know what? We see this government don't launch over, if I not lie, over 50 programs, over 50 of them. Only a few of them don't materialize. Not to that we talk. We want something where tangible, where they see say this government talk this. They don't do it. How many times this government don't come tell we say the airport and for starter? People they just come off free town. I don't know if you see they don't start the airport. They don't start that. So these are some of the issues some of the commitments where the government they make O1C. And then therefore prioritize them. Because we don't get enough resources. What are the essence of prioritize? When you don't get enough, you therefore put the most pressing ones them first. And this is one thing where this government no, we don't fail for do. We not say, you know, they are not mutually exclusive. For say we do one, no, we do the other one. But what's important, yeah, the one we know say very serious, put more money pan am, put more effort pan am, put more emphasis pan am. So to me, I totally agree with Edmond Abu in terms of some of the aspects that we bring can today, such as the failure of PRA, yeah, when the Petroleum Regulatory Authority for come out for debunk that mistake. It just they add, it just make matters worse. Already, I know say, some of the people that were involved in profiteering, they go down believe for the high the petrol, thinking that the petrol it can go up and all that thing. So the best way for convert this for stop this from happening, now for come out with a press release. If we not get intention for do let's know. Let's know. But I will agree with Edmond Abu that most likely, the government therefore increase price. Maybe a test come up with some law listening to what the public will say. And then we will take action later. I think say then they will likely be the reason why they just keep quiet and not come out. But overall, and before I left, one other point where Edmond Abu make where I agree with him. One of the reasons why the price of fuel been dropped during the lockdown, now because of COVID-19 lockdown itself. We all know that in country, in UK, all over the world, the price been dropped. It will really, really drop. So consequently, it been dropped back in Salo as well. So when we see the government put price down or stable price, not only because the government effort, I mean the price that they do. It dropped. It been dropped. It actually dropped. It actually dropped the prices that they do. So again, I agree with them. So thanks very much, Edmond Abu. That was very, very comprehensive. It's always a pleasure when you come, it creates that smiling atmosphere. It make you listen to you very, very bold, So now, now you know the kind of CSOs then we look forward to another country today. I will stop here. I'll give chance to other panelists. Then thank you very much, AAA, and thanks Edmond Abu, and thanks to everybody who is listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Usman Toli. Thank you, sir.
Hello?
Yes, thank you.
Oh my God. Hello?
Yeah, we get you loud and clear. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. All right. We don't get Usman Toli. Make we come with doctor. Make we hear waiting doctor get for we today. Welcome on board, Dr. Isatuka Kejalo. You get the platform, man.
Hello, good evening, everyone, and I hope everybody do well. Thank you to we guest, Mr. Edmond Abu, for his insight and his, the things that we'll learn today based on, fuel control, price control, how it affect we as a nation, and also thank you to Usman Toli for your submission, and to you as well, and to all the listeners that will listen, and the one that they watch on Facebook. So the whole thing here, we don't talk about how certain things and they affect we as a nation, and people then from me own perspective in all this, because what they say, would they see how much they affect we if prices them not steady in the country, and consortiums like their own company or farm, they come out and say something to the current administration, as to things that really affect, the ordinary people then at the country. So, these are the type of people I would say, um, government for try for the whole town hall meeting with, try for get their own insight or input in terms of how then thing they affect we market, how they affect the general public, because since we they get different things and we they happen, like we get cameras and they go around, talk to the camera, talk to the people that are the country, but also for getting an information from an expert point of view, it can really help in how government will try for seize some of the prices then we be see if we fuel price now the country increase, knowing that we know we're not a country so then they produce fuel like that, and what do they get the emission which he mentioned gets so many health effects them, you know how can we prevent things like this? You talk about a fuel being 8.5 thousand leons, meaning 8,500. You multiply that by a gallon, because we they get fuel now depending on which grade you they get, you're looking at anywhere from almost $3 and above per gallon, but that's we're talking about 5 liters, so not so even close. And the economic status now here and overseas is nowhere close. People then go they cry for more hunger. We don't talk about food. We don't talk about other things and we go become affected, because why? They cannot afford it. The Makituman will say, well, I raise this price because the fuel not steady, or meaning the fuel price don't go up. Even if they raise them by 500,000 leons or 100,000 leons, then get for see that difference we can to food prices, we can to electricity cost and other things and way people then they depend on as a daily use. So definitely with the hope and pray that just like Mr. Abu say to the president, within the one let them look into, and let them see these things as ways of keeping your country for make them continue to grow. But if every day they get one price, because we get for take them from the time where this administration come in, waiting will be the price before for fuel and now, that's a big jump, within just 3 years time frame. And for beginning, also, say the fuel price therefore go up. That's not concern to the general public, and that's not something we the president for look into, as well as the one that we they in charge, of ensuring that then we will keep this price. If not other things, then we not going affect the person where they go out there at the markets, even the individual where they try for get in hand to mouth. If you not go affect and they therefore try for put those measures in place. In that light, we're able for keep people them from hunger, because really that bread and butter, I think, it's something that hasn't been accomplished over these last 3 years. And there's a lot who feel say the government need for do for make sure say, people them really go believe say, yes, this administration, even though then they do well in certain areas, but like then they focus on the basic needs them. We person need, then we go back to Maslow's, we are still at the bottom of that hierarchy. We still not steady or stable on the second level of the hierarchy. If you look at that graph, or that pyramid, every time you get for say to yourself, are we even at level 3 of the hierarchy, of the pyramid? We are not. We are still struggling to come off, the first bar. We're not the largest piece of it where they talk about all your different basic needs them where you need for in order for make you continue for grow, in order for make things them stay stable now a nation. So we do hope for the best, as we country, we know price control not a challenge. The dollar go up, then it raise price. Anything go up, then they raise price on the people them and make people then suffer in the country. And that's not something what they look for. But we hope for the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aisatuke Kejalo.
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, that's now Dr. Ion's submission for today. If you just join me, we bring come in Edmond Abu Jr. from Native Consortium. We can talk small about the increase of fuel we want for happen. Meet people know say it will happen. But with a big say if it happen right now, now more burden on the people of Sierra Leone. Make out us friend, make yeri, waiting na in your take on today on. Yes, us friend, you're welcome on board. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple A, for giving the platform for talk. And thanks to Dr. and Mr. Umatoli for their contribution. And thanks to all the listeners and viewers. And a big thank you to Mr. Edmond Abu for a good job where they do there. Me prayer for them, let God make the people are able for listen to them. Because when they listen at the end of one day, then we're able to effect. And the side when we want we be concerned more, we in talk about what we want to pick up and just add a little bit. Now the health sector, in other words, the health hazardous, we even talk about that ppm content, sulfur, within inside the petrol. And regarding the out effect of it finally to mortal man in health. And we really talk about that ppm, they I think what you mean no, I think saying about the parts per notation, the measurements, wouldn't the measure the particular object we get inside oil and some other liquids. But most of the one with the palm oil, most of the one they can talk about more this sulfur. But the sulfur, the what thing they happen most of the time now because of the petroleum, the way they don't demand them. So when you see, then they drill or then they try for extract petroleum, and then wells, they wouldn't say wells. The more than they extract them, then the lesser than they get one would not mature. So that stage they some of the countries that would exhaust them, wells them, then are the product sometimes, most of the time then they get. But when you leave the petroleum, the crude oil for let it go mature, usa ide na the layer, they get less amount of this sulfur here because then they measure them per millimeter, per millions a millimeter, because then get the ultra low sulfur diesel, and that one they can measure them by 10 ppm. Less of that sulfur there. When that one day now in the world market, one of the international field standard, them they don't put say na info B would there for use. But because of most time then they left and let mature, they get a lot of hydrocarbon. Inside the hydrocarbon, they get carbon and they get a lot of heavy metals. And then heavy metals there, when they see them emit them, they get that colta force. Colta, then the last thing when they pull from petrol. But when they pull petrol and colta, it get heavy of them. So when they come on at the air, it cause a lot of problem. And the problem that will come to them a little bit later. But the what thing the government get for try and do, for try for understand who side then will they buy petrol. And if they need for step up a little bit for put so let them go know say when they buy petrol will get less of this content here. Because you don't depend it for years and years. If you look at the effect where it gets, look at the years the way it be done did it, when they sell this type of petrol it cause a lot of headache, nausea, dizziness, confusion, it even cause brain damage. It cause even muscle weakness and abortions. What is the reason why? When that sulfur they diesel fuel, the high hydrocarbon, then they emit in the air, it cause the carbon, what they say carbon monoxide. When that black smoke where they see. That black smoke, they not like the carbon dioxide. You know, one oxygen layer. So when they go like your blood, the blood, it more like for attract, like when they get marvin, they attract far more than even the oxygen. And when it attracts, what did happen? That oxygen will be the one and that one when I see carbon monoxide, they pull and they in the attract to that, what's it cause? It cause carbon mono, I mean it cause carbon monoxide, then it cause a kind of defect wherein the carbon carboxyhemoglobin, yes, carboxyhemoglobin, which it cause problem. Then problem they are on and then muscle headache, dizziness, and other things. So government get for look into that thing there because now what is the drive for do let them get low carbon emissions. If they get low carbon emissions, we buy thing way in a high carbon emission back, and then look at waiting the other partners and developers and the therefore can cut down now how the countries in Africa and the world will therefore cut down emission. In other words, what they say global warming to avoid all this and other things. And so if they find out, say, will they work one side and then the other side is the waste, because the health what it cause hazardous will not know they have to complain what beyond they happen in their country. They will not know the confusion what they did and people there, even abortions. So all those kind of things, government therefore look into that deeply. That particular sector there, that they are whole say, let government try look into that one day deeply. Because when you look at the when they produce petroleum, because if we get crude oil, now we for don't produce them. We get the crude oil, but we don't know it if you never mature to the stage where it will get less of that ppm, because that ppm they now in then they try for look say if they can extract them, people then go buy them. So that is all we they wait for look if God will make one day now petroleum will get earlier if it get for qualify for that stage day. So government get for look say when they pull in there, then get different stage, then we will even am I on again? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so when they get them crude earlier, then they refine them well, it costs the refinery products, the refinery machine, the point. We not even know if that was why the refinery in a shell they therefore go out of function, because they said this is what actually they affect the machinery of the land. So they don't want it in the market. So then they try for fair way where then they push out. So we know what they go for those kind of things. We know they try for go for things. If we want, we go buy the crude oil, we try bring the refinery itself instead of storage. The refinery we make them while we wait for we own petrol if you get for day, we refinery, then bring them, we buy the crude oil. That crude oil day, will they get petroleum liquefied one day, will they get chemicals in it, will they get the gasoline, will the petrol itself, when the third one will they come up, then will they get the kerosene, when the paraffin, will they get diesel oil, will they even get lubricants, and lubricants will they use pandemic machine, they will see pandemic engine, they push up. Now from there they pull them. When they clean that lubricant, they can use for make Vaseline, that Vaseline will they rub so. So we are getting all these products from petroleum fuel. And the one wooden, the last one I wouldn't see na the crowd, now that quota we they see that they put na their road, then they roofing, then they put roofing. So it bring a bit of income if they try build up the refinery itself and look for partners wherein then they go to OPEC, they make countries and Saudi Arabia, other countries, then go make it. Even though there is a war between Russia and Saudi Arabia, because that's why they not go to them, now they affect the price of petroleum presently. That one they say our auction, that they are again with other factors, them all where they combine it. Even yourself, petroleum they go born by pence, then they add the diesel. But we now when they look at the petroleum, look at the government therefore look waiting the people outside they say household income, it go reach or it go get for affect people and prices them, like our prices they go so people go say because of petroleum, looking at the culture of people what they don't get. So government therefore look into that health sector they try for make the refinery will be get for refine the crude oil, they avoid for buy this ppm and sulfur high sulfur content petroleum, because you know they're good for we health. You know they're good at all. So once they're able to address that issue, the sour crude oil, because that's what they call it, sour crude oil, they not will buy that product there, what would they can use per wheel engine there? Because it spoil the engine, it cause a lot of air pollution, it cause a lot of health hazards, where it cost the government looking at we whole health sector where they try to develop small, so we don't know when it will able for stand firm. So that's now the area where I want the government therefore look into so that they will therefore keep the health, and then the wealth will be brought to be saved, because the health of the people there, they don't save them, and then the people there now human resource, they don't build human capital, because they will put contribution instead of the lost people then who they not go do for replace the other one then at a stage because of health and bad hazards and bad management. So the government just for look into them thing there, institute back the petroleum products who then they do the refinery and when I make good bargain for the look for products when a better one. In other words, we need somebody we get a scientific idea who go able look into that thing they have for listen. Not that they don't know them, but they no go get time for sit down and assess it again. All they do is just from paperwork, things that we don't do at the table, where they don't see like this, like the formula, who they follow, then they follow. They no go say, let we try another source. Like how Edmond Abu they always say, let we try this. When I try buy that freight machine, that freight something, when I want freight, when I go no side price day. Because even when you go on the website, you know, you actually see the price of petrol. You go know the crude oil, but they tell you the price of petroleum, the guy talks about the country, they're very secretive. But another one day, then we'll try, let them establish freighting and other things and look into that thing that with the scientific mind for the needs of the people and not only for their own safety, for saying they give deal to somebody or let make this deal, let this person can make, let we say there we on day. Let them just be fair to the people and listen and try for help, let the country go before. Thank you very much for giving the platform, and I only hope so that we take it to all anything there. God bless you, sir, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, us friend.
Yeah, you're most welcome, sir.
Yeah. I want to say thanks to Usman Toli and to Dr. Isatou Kekijalo and to Usman Kamara for their contribution. You will listen, you shall get opportunity now if you want to add to waiting everybody don't see. And the call from Native Consortium for make we help talk to government do may then continue for cushion. May then continue for subsidize. Make them no add the price of fuel right now, because if they add them, it will cause more burden to the people of Sierra Leone. The phone line open now. If you feel say you want to add 232-78-990-991. That now WhatsApp 232-78-990-991. Or you can call direct to United States or United Kingdom. United States now 1-646-610-3107. Or you can call United Kingdom 44-739-803-0402. Phone lines open now, but if you think say we don't do well, we don't address the issues, then we will close the line. Again, a call to the government of Sierra Leone, say, do ya? You know, I make we play the song, say, and they pepper we. Eh? I don't say no to everybody go agree with what Edmond say, but at least we know say few of the things them or most of the things that we say make sense. Make sense. Because if government they say the subsidize and they subsidize done too much, they don't spend a lot of money, income and say okay. But government back don't hire so many people, then they don't get the wage bill bloated. I think we've heard that word for quite a while now about having a bloated wage bill. So maybe government go you consider. But I think say government for fire, for subsidize for the people of Sierra Leone. Not possible, self. They don't get job, then go take and say, we don't need this again. But then we don't do one time. There was a position at State House, you know. Don't forget us that one day. Wouldn't be great. Where the person go 98.2 and able defending himself and can say it was a clash with another ministry. Then we get for dissolve them. I think it was under the office of the chief minister, if I can remember well. Well, I don't know how much them be saved that end you. Wouldn't be do that. But again, what are we saying here? The government of Sierra Leone, they are the big. Now be we small. Edmond Abu say by August. Now you see by August, fuel price go can down. So we just run with them. So we say the big the government there, now be we. Now not add again. Are the people them. The phone line don't close. I think we've done well anyway. phone line don't close. Make we left, yeah. But we'll go there back. We'll go there back tomorrow with another interesting topic. You know, say we don't come back, eh? Some say they don't know, say we don't come. Go tell them. They say our network is back. Let them know it's in the gun. But we'll go there back tomorrow. And we want to say thanks to everybody who don't listen. To Edmond, we say thank you. To all the panelists, them thanks. Till we meet again tomorrow for another interesting topic. Three police here. Tata.